Well, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. All year we've heard about the Ford Ranger Super Duty, and it's finally here. We're one of very few to produce a really high quality product so quickly. And what we're going to do today is go through the car itself, what we've done to it, and how much it costs. So join us as we go through the all new Ford Super Duty. Now, we're not going to bore you with every other car review that's been done, because probably they'll do it better than us. What we're going to do is discuss why we think and so heavily back the Ford platform and what the new Super Duty means. For us, the Super Duty is a little bit more than just a car or another ute. For so long, the conversation we have with so many thousands of people is GVMs, payloads, and safety, and more so compliance. This completely mops the floor. For years, we've been neglected on what I consider one of the biggest platforms in Australia, the dual cab ute. Not one manufacturer to date has built something like this, and the last manufacturer I thought would is Ford. We're very invested in what Ford are, have become, and what Ford stand for. For us, the Super Duty represents exactly what customers do with their vehicles in Australia, both in fleets and in adventure space as well. Anything in between, it'll just mow it down, no problems. For us, the Ford, it's actually representing what we do and what the customer does. Now, the investment for us at Teralume into the Ford platform isn't something new. We've had Fords for years, been the PX2 Ranger, our own next gen back in 2022, where we learned so much about these vehicles. And now in a short 2 weeks, we'll have our own Super Duty as soon as we could get one. We're privileged enough today and have many more booked in to have customers extend their trust in us really early on in the piece as early adopters, both into Ford's platform, but for ours as well. Let's go into the specs real quick. 4.5 ton towing, 4.5 ton GVM, and an 8 ton GCM. As I said earlier, no one's been able to do this, and I don't use this word often, but I think it's actually game changing. Ford are going to be 5, maybe more years ahead of everyone else, and for us, that means we're going to have more people doing more with them. What we've noticed in the normal Ranger is the cab hasn't actually changed between the Super Duty. So in terms of width of body and width of body here, they're about more or less the same. Now, when we add wider guards, what we're noticing is the factory mirror actually flies all the way past and still usable. When we go to a wider body, say a 1950 or a 1900, it makes it very challenging to use the OE mirrors, and we suggest clear views or something similar to actually extend out. May be suitable for you, may not, up to you. We do both models, a 1950 as well on special order, and our in-production model 1850 as well. The biggest differences of the Super Duty nowadays is actually the addition of AdBlue. We're going to see AdBlue come through on most dual cabs coming through after around 2025 into 2026. They're going to start effectively being legislation. I know the new Hilux is looking at it as well. Fuel, we've done plenty of these. It's fuel and business as usual. There is actually a lockable cap on these. This is not the XLT. Naturally, that's coming out in another 6 months, mid-2026. I'm keen to see what they do with the tub version of this with the fuel cap. But really good initiative by Ford giving it a lockable fuel cap, given the fact that a cab chassis is always going to need something lockable, given that it's not ever going to be back in a tub. Next thing you'll notice, ARB base rack. So customers opted for a base rack. There is solar up there, and we've got our rail there. So that rail allows us to attach base racks, rhino racks, rooftop tents, all sorts of things as well. So great option. It's only 50mm above the canopy, allows it to articulate the door properly. It gives the customer a whole nother rack that they can put whatever they really want up there, including solar. Next thing is the color matched doors. So we don't use color coding as a term, it's color matched. We got this color matched off what is a normal white Ranger. As you can see, it's a perfect match and a really, really good finish. We only use the best finish, the best paints, and it'll last literally forever. So as we come down to the side, obviously the rear door being also color matched is actually, as we do on the chassis mounts, a lockable door now. So a lot of customers are putting compressors and bits and pieces in there. There's a little bit of depth in there as well, so things aren't going to fall out. We have gone away from the drawer completely. A lot of people copied us, and I actually found the door to be a little bit more useful versus the drawer in terms of space available inside as well. So as that comes up, compression lock down, go to the back corner. Standard on all of our products now, of course, is the zone lighting. Now that can be wired into all sorts of different things depending on what the car has as factory, but on this particular vehicle, it's wired into the battery system, so the customer's got that available at his disposal. Before we go around the back, let's take a look inside. Integrated into the door is our own strip light in 100cm. And also on each side of the door, we've got the locks, which are now all standard central locking off the fob of the car. So we tap into the vehicle's system, so when you hit the key on the car to lock it, your body's gonna lock as well. As you go inside, fairly simple. We've got a fridge slide to go in here after this video. We wanna get that right with the customer when he rocks up and make sure that everything works to how it needs to. But for the most part, really simple build, which gives the customer a whole heap of space each side, and of course, around the fridge as well. What you'll notice on the doors, of course, is leverage adjustment. Should the door get heavier for some reason, for example, insulation, Max-Trax solar on the door, we can adjust the leverage point without changing the gas strut. And on the side here, we've got height adjustment, which allows us to drop heights for really tall vehicles and allow for awnings and bits and pieces that may go on the side of the vehicle as well. So in the front, the power hub, which is the heart of the power system, we got this in a 300 amp version. So inside, 300 amp hours of battery power. We have 3 kilowatt inverter inside, solar reg, DC charger, and AC charger. On the front, we've got AC control with 3 outlets, 8 channels, 6 charge points, and 2 Andersons. And the underside at the back, we've got all of our inputs, and at the rear, we've got AC charging and an isolator as well. So this system's designed to go with you should this body need to be moved on to a different vehicle at later stage. And should the customer want to remove that, it can come out within 20 minutes. Let's go at the back and have a look. As we come around the back, really simple on the back here, we've just got a jerry can holder, which is a staple. Almost all vehicles leave with one of these. And of course, not mandatory, but certainly optional, wheel holder. So the rear wheel obviously fits underneath. It came from there and it can stay under there as well. It doesn't need to come on the back. But for most people, they like that look, they like that practicality, and they like it being more accessible on the rear as well. So that comes out with a lid, number plate bracket, simply comes down and hides the lock. So that's standard on all of our trays and bodies, and just rolls in on a roller bearing system straight back in, out of the way. Number plate lights now recessed underneath. One of the biggest differences on the Super Duty versus the normal Ranger is this sensor bar. So let's go down and have a look at what's actually inside of it. So on the back here, this is a really, really solid bar supported by the actual tow bar itself around the back. It's a little bit hard to see here. Biggest thing, recovery points are actually integrated. We've got trailer wiring here. We also have the tow bar, camera, reverse park sensors, and the bliss sensors on the side. So that's something that Ford have really listened to the aftermarket converters and people who work on these vehicles to really make sure that what they intended from the factory as a sense of safety perspective is actually considered in what we do with these vehicles. Too many times have we got vehicles that come in that have been really poorly fitted. Not our vehicles and certainly not our product, but it's really alarming how many people don't understand these platforms. And this bar just fixes it. So we're really happy about this. It's great. We don't have to touch it. That's all OE equipment. We sit above it. And then of course we have the spare tire underneath that can still go under there as well. So plenty of room. It's really, really good to see how much they've actually considered what we do. It's fantastic. So on the other side, we've got water tank filler and breather here, and also the outlet there on a pump. So standard on all our bodies and trays now is water pump, and either 1 or 2 tanks depending on what it is. Which is located underneath in front of the trundle drawer as well, which is a really cool feature. For those who don't have water, it's something you don't think about, but when you got it, you don't know how you live without it. It's really, really good. And it's such a great feature to have on pretty much a pump all the time. So I've just got the invoice in front of me and we're gonna go through it. This is a super transparent part. We don't alter things and change things. We wanna give people actually what it costs to do something like this. So in XGST, it's the way our invoices read until the end. We've got the 2-door actual chassis mount itself. So they're $14,990 plus GST, and the wide guards to suit, which we have to use on Raptors, even Rangers with wide offsets or Amaroks. So nothing new there at $660. Fitment of the entire thing came in at $1,681 plus GST. Now that gets us to a standard level. We charge the way we quote. And invoices labour separately. For anything other than a standard fit, just makes things easier to read. Color-coded doors, so strip and fit plus priming, prepping the surface, getting it all sorted and matched is $2,081 plus GST, of course. Jerry can holder, $317 plus GST. Rear wheel holder, $453 plus GST. The roof rail system, which is pretty much mounting the custom supplied, I'll get that out of the way, the base rack our customer bought. So that rail system's $317. To fit all those things, we charge 2.5 hours labor, which is $431 plus GST. Our power system to actually power the power system in the vehicle is $359. Power system itself, $7,718. The internal wall kit, so it mounts at the front there, $544. 2 strip lights, $254. The ceiling internal lighting pack, $123. Labor to fit all that, so that's the power hub, everything, the rack on the back, rack on the top, sorry, $1,381. There is a shelf in there, that's $253. 200 watt Rome solar panel on the top, and labor to fit all of that is $690, and the panel's $253. Now the total fitted, installed, drive in, drive out, as it sits here, is $36,318, including GST. And the vehicle, on our side of things, our customer would have paid a very similar amount, is around $98,000 on the road, in the hand effectively, as a cab chassis. So if you add those up, we're sitting at around the 130, 135 mark as it sits here. We always cop hate for this. I love it really, because it's actually something that most people don't do and they're not transparent about. But if you are wanting effectively what we think is a pretty damn good touring vehicle ready to run like this, your 130 mark is where you would start with us. We go into sort of the 200-300 grand mark for some of the bigger builds, depending on what they are, Chevys and stuff like that as well. So for Super Duty owners looking to get something similar to this, and we've got a lot of the main parts in here. There are some smaller parts like fridges and bits and pieces the customer's already supplied and they're over there. Those sorts of things really are just what we call PCs or personal choices, and we can pretty much alter what we need to for those things at the end as well. But for the most part, $36,318 neat is what we have done to this vehicle. Before it came in here, it was literally a cab chassis on a tow truck, and now it's ready to run out. And our customer Barry's, you know, over the moon. He's yet to see the vehicle. I personally think it looks amazing. And if you guys are in the market for a Super Duty, we have, I don't know, 30, 40 calls a day and so many of them booked in. I think they're going to be a really popular option. And I think, I'll say it again, I think they've changed the game. So well done, Ford. Congratulations to Barry on such a cool build, and we can't wait to see him for stage 2. Cheers.